Absolutely. Well, our coverage continues now with Ryan McBeth, open source intelligence analyst and Army veteran, and Michael Pregent, senior Middle East analyst, former intelligence officer, former senior fellow at the Hudson Institute. Great to have you both with us this morning. Michael, I'll start with you. So the FBI warned police departments in California that Iran could launch drone attacks in the coming days, really at any moment. In your opinion, though, is this really within the capabilities of Iran? How concerned should people in California be?
Well, we know that Iran will use civilian ships to launch drones from, so that's one platform they can use to attack California. The other is Mexico. We know Hezbollah has worked with the cartels. Maybe there's a drone capability there. Again, these are off-the-shelf drone capability you can buy anywhere. Not the Shahed 136, unless it was from one of those commercial ships. There are also cells operating in the United States that can launch attacks. The biggest concern here is what Iran can do. There are cells here, and they built a brand now where any crazy can go out there and kill an American or launch a drone, and the regime will take credit for it. So that's what we're up against right now.
Yeah, so you mentioned obviously the sleeper cells here in the United States. And of course, we also see Iran going after technology companies, launching a significant cyber attack against medical device giant Stryker. Ryan, what do you think our biggest worry should be? Is it cyber, or is it these rogue one-off kinds of drone attacks?
Well, it's actually neither of those things. Cyber is a pretty big component, but we have some pretty good cyber defenses. Probably our biggest worry here is losing our will to fight. And when you take a look at the actual Gulf and some of the USVs, the unguided surface vehicles, or the unmanned surface vehicles that you're seeing hitting some tankers in the Gulf, the big worry there is that the world panics and puts pressure on the U.S. to stop fighting. We are at a point right now where we can't kick the can down the road anymore. So the biggest risk isn't cyber, it isn't drones, it's losing our actual will to finish the fight.
Yeah, great point. And we know that all eyes continue to stay on the Strait of Hormuz, the key waterway primarily under Iran's control right now, critical for the transport of 20% of the world's oil every single day. So sources say Tehran began laying mines in the strait as well. The president had this to say. Take a listen.
They started talking about mines, so we hit 28 mine ships as of this moment, 28. Using the same weapon, the exact same weapon that we use against the drug dealers.
So, Michael, reports also suggest that Iran attacked 2 oil tankers in the Gulf overnight. How difficult will it be for the U.S. Navy to really protect shipping in this region?
Well, this is what Iran can do, right? Or what they can't do anymore. They can't fly onto an oil tanker and seize it. That capability is gone. The U.S. would hit that. They can't use their little small boats and go towards the oil tankers and try to seize them as well. But what they can do, and what they're best at, is using these Shahed 136 drones and also anti-ship missiles. They haven't done the anti-ship missile yet. They've used these drones. And we're looking at this, but as far as those mines, they don't discriminate. They can hit Russian tankers, they can hit Chinese tankers, so it's not a good strategy. And this kind of represents the lack of a command and control structure based on how many people have been killed, or how many top leadership have been killed inside of Iran. The Navy's prepared for this, and more importantly, we've provided these assets to our Gulf allies. Every Gulf ally in the Strait of Hormuz has anti-mining capabilities, has U.S. military equipment that we've given them to keep Iran from being able to shut down this choke point for oil and gas.
Yeah, so on that point, both the United Arab Emirates and Qatar say Iran has crossed a red line with them in recent airstrikes. And so, Ryan, how much longer do these nations stay on defense before they start moving to offensive? And do you worry that Iran they know their days are numbered? They're just going to burn the whole thing down?
Well, those are 2 very good questions. Why I like coming on Newsmax. You have some very good questions here. The first thing is that countries like Oman, UAE, they can't really go on offense because their militaries really aren't designed for that. They don't have that deep strike capability. They may be able to perform some surface strikes that are close to their borders, or perform maritime patrols to take out things like unmanned surface vehicles, or even do some mine laying stuff. But their Air Force, they can't penetrate deep into Iran and actually hit targets because they're not designed for that. And the second question regarding how long, could Iran burn the thing down? Well, they're running out of missiles, and more importantly, their command and control is being attrited and degraded with every passing day. So even if they wanted to, they might have to do this without, let's say, fuel for the generators that actually raise the missile launchers to vertical in order to fire the missile, or even orders to tell someone to fire the weapon. So you might want to burn the whole thing down. Oh, one other thing, SIFA Bank. That was just hit a couple of days ago. That's a major bank that gives the government payroll. The next time the Iranians get paid is on March 21st. And that's going to be pretty interesting, because if nobody can get paid on March 21st, that's when people might say, you know what, let's turn our guns toward Tehran.
Yep.
No, great
All
point.
right. Ryan, great answer. And Michael, great to see you guys this morning. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.